Hi, everyone, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 12 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that took its trolls to heart when they told us to go to hell. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Lava Lava, and with me is my co host.
It's final day. I'm so excited. This
It
is like
is.
a history making season and we're at the end, lover.
It's over. After this, it's over.
That's it. Mad. Mad, mad, mad.
It's. It's exciting. It is exciting. It always is exciting. As much as I love competitive gameplay, by week 12, I am usually ready for a break from
Oh,
competitive gameplay.
like the Christmas break was really, really nice. It just fell perfectly for us, but I'm now really week 11, week 12 has been stressful in terms of my gaming prowess right now. So I'm kind of glad we're at the final, but I'm excited to get rolling today. So
Yeah, see, I'm of the
let's do
opposite.
it.
I feel the Christmas break has done us, it took the momentum out of our gameplay, as it were. But we are back. We were back last week with a bang. So we were. But before we get into what happened last week, let's tell everyone what High Scores, High Stakes is. Tomahawk. It's very important. Every episode is someone's first. So High Scores, High Stakes, whilst in season, is three friends, three PlayStations. We compete against one another in a league table. Every week we pick a new game, play a challenge in it. The winner of the challenge gets 3 points. Second place gets 2 points, and third place gets 1 point. After 11 games, the league, Tomahawk, going into this finale of season 4, has never been tighter. It probably never be this tight again. The
Never.
league looks like this. In third place, on 34 points, is you, Tomahawk. In second place, on 35 points, is Cardinal Smith. And top of the league, also on 35 points, is me. I am top of the league by virtue of challenges won this season, which is a shocker because my start this season wasn't great. But that
Yeah,
is,
even your overcooked performance as well. I may have been a bit overzealous in how I thought I was going to be, but that's in the past now. It is now part of the high scores, high stakes annals of history.
it is, it is.
Yeah.
Overcooked 2 was, I would say it was fun. That is not the word I would use for it. I thought
No, it's
there
a
may
friend
have been,
ender.
I thought it may have led to the first ever high scores, high stakes divorce. Probably not the last. But
Close,
what can I
very
say?
close.
Me and Mrs. Lover, well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. I was just
Well-oiled
thinking
machine.
that.
We knew our rules perfectly. I'll do everything. You cook the rice. That
I
was them
distinctly
rules.
remember you in the group chat saying, "Stick to the rice, do nothing else." That was more or less how my gameplay went as well. I was told, "Stay out of your lane,"
Hmm.
and I'm gonna assemble, and I was just like, okay.
Okay, let's go.
And
But
Cardinal, the bloody cheat. Like, of course he had a run ready to go and then realized that the timer doesn't start until you plate up your
yeah,
first plate.
yeah,
Do you know what though? Stroke of genius to realize that though.
I had no idea. I'm just proud that me and Mrs. Lover got within 100 points of Cardinal Smith. That was it.
True,
It
true.
was very close. It was very close. We had no idea about that timer thing. Even when you brought it up in the episode, I was like, "What? What is this? Why is this clock not started?" If only I knew that, I could have done one
Like,
more plate and
that would
then
have done game changer. I think had we all known that, that might have just elevated the scores a little bit. But
it
it is what it is now.
it
We're at
it's
this
brought us
point
here.
in time.
It's
Yeah.
brought us here, so it has. It's brought us to the final with me leading the way by virtue of challenges won. It's been a really tight season. All season it has been, as if you couldn't tell from the league table, it's never been closer. Every week just seemed to get closer and closer and closer until we've accumulated ourselves here. But before we get into all things challenge game, let's talk about where people can find more high scores, high stakes content throughout their week because 1 hour and a bit just isn't enough high scores, high stakes for anyone. The easiest and best place to get all of our content, no matter where we are on the internet, is high scores, high stakes.com. On top of the homepage, you will find links to everywhere you can find us on the internet. That is Twitter, it is Instagram, it is YouTube, it is Blue Sky, it is literally everywhere. All the links are there. Just click it, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, whatever it is you want to do. If you have been listening for a while, you already know all this and you know what I'm going to say next. If you haven't, shared the podcast with a friend or a family member who you think will enjoy it, please do that as well. The more people we get here, the better for everyone. It's very exciting times. I don't think I've forgotten. Oh, yes, one more thing. If you've listened for a while and you still haven't given us a star rating, please give us a star rating. We have got 2 star reviews in the last month, Tomahawk. Isn't that crazy?
That's it. We are getting eyes and ears. These plugs are starting to pay dividends now.
Currently sitting on a 4.6 on Spotify. Let's get that up to 5, please, folks. But yeah, if you just give it a star review, you think it's worth. You think it's worth 5, give us 5. You think it's worth 1, give us 1. If you want to go further than that, leave a comment and tell us why you give it that score, and we will take on board every and all constructive criticisms to make the podcast better for you and for us and everybody else involved in the podcast. And it has been a long old time since I have asked this question, Tomahawk. Are you on the edge of your seat? Because it's been a while. It's going to be a
Hit me with it.
terrible impression. It's going to be terrible. But Tomahawk, tell me, what are you playing? That was pretty good.
Sweet music to my ears. I haven't been playing anything.
Well,
Jokes. Uh,
the content has been saved.
uh, I picked up a game in the January sales. I have this incredible habit of like just trolling through the list until I find something that is on like a mega discount game that I would probably never play if it was full price. I found a little survival horror game, if you could call it that, called Oxide Room 104. Uh, I picked it up at 199 on the January sale
Mm-hmm.
from PlayStation. It retails usually at £25.
Right. Is it worth it?
At 199, absolutely worth it. It's like the Woodside Apartments in Silent Hill
Mm-hmm.
meets Chris O'Dowd from the IT crowd.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I thought the puzzles, I say the puzzles, it's very mid game. It's very clunky. You go around, you pick up keys, you open locks, you avoid enemies, you can fight enemies if you want, and you can depending on how many rooms you want to unlock in this motel, you can pick up more lore, or you can go the long way around, the short way around. It was absolutely fine. I picked it up because it was so cheap. I thought
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nothing lost, nothing gained at that point. Then I hit the end credits and I realized that all of the characters are voiced by one man.
Incredible scenes.
I
Incredible
put it up in
scenes.
our Discord server as well. I was playing and it was like the flattest emotional range.
I thought that was
And
funny. I really like that video. Oh no. Uh,
oh, this is impossible. Ah. Um, I think it's no longer on PlayStation Plus at that price. It is back up to
oh.
the £25 retail mark. So if you got it, shame.
Pay 25 quid. Play the greatest game. Tom's new game of the year 2024.
Incredible. I mean, I as soon as Unreal Engine came up, I was like, oh Christ. But I mean, the core of it, you could tell there was a lot of inspiration took from other games. Like the setting felt like Silent Hill, the item inventory system felt like Resident Evil, even like the little tropes that you had in the descriptions. I think I'd said it in group chat as well. It's like the antidote. It was like, oh, this is a red flower. Why is it a red flower?
Yep.
And that's it. That's your description for the antidote. So you can tell where they've drawn inspiration, but they haven't. I feel as if they've drawn inspiration as if they've had a lucid fever dream.
Is it? But it's fine. Like is
That's
it?
fine. Yeah, I might go back and re-download it and play it and try and get all of the rooms open, as opposed
Yeah,
to the quickest route to the finish.
yeah. Is it Dino Break good or better?
I actually think it's better than Dino Break. It
There we
actually
go.
plays a lot smoother than Dino Break, but it's one of those ones where the control scheme is it's L2 to aim, R2 to fire, but it's R L1 to crouch and R1 to sprint.
That's fine. I don't hear
I
nothing wrong with
felt
that.
it just felt a bit jarring, but circles not crouch.
Okay.
Everything's like I just feel like
No,
circle should naturally be crouch.
you see, as a bumper jumper in first person shooters, that's fine. I can live with that 100%. 100%. I think in first person shooters, I map sprint to L1 most of the time.
It's okay. I mean, the game as a whole is okay. It has enough in it. Uh, it has this kind of like Resident Evil biohazard thing with like, you know, how Eva is like the bioweapon in this
Hmm.
instance. They sort of are alluding to this character that you never really get to see.
Okay.
But I think that is part of I think that's part of the replayability. You maybe get to learn more about that or even interact with it at later times. So possibly one to go back to, but not likely.
Yeah, yeah, like Dino Break. They'll never play Dino Break
That's it.
again.
That's it. What about yourself, Lover? Then you've had a couple to ponder on this one. So what have you been playing this week?
That is a very good
I'm
question, to
not
be
going to do the
honest.
impression.
That is a very good question. Over Christmas, I played very little, to be fair. There was a lot of time spent making toys and opening toys, and you wouldn't believe how incredibly packaged some of these toys are, man. Dolls, like Barbies, wow. You need a PhD in cable ties for those things. It is absolutely
Oh yeah,
staggering. But yeah,
definitely.
beyond that, I have been playing a few games, I suppose. I did play God of War Ragnarok on the
Yes, you did say that.
trial on PlayStation. It is also on PlayStation Plus catalog as well. It's awesome. It is awesome.
Is
I,
it a big step up from 2018?
yes and no. Yes and no. Gameplay wise, no, but
Okay.
everything is just so much more. It's one of the best looking games I have ever seen. They've tidied up a lot of stuff from God of War 2018. Like the climbing is a lot cleaner now. The combat feels smoother, but that could just come with frame rate improvement. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if it's actually been improved. The animations are still incredible. The story is still incredible. The voice cast is just absolutely insanely good. And the whole opening for the game is just one of the best openings I have ever played and watched. I think I made a joke in our group chat that the sort of Norse gods are pretty much just the mob.
Oh right,
the,
okay.
the opening scene, I don't want to give away too much, but the opening scene, Kratos and Atreus are out hunting and they get back to their hut and they are visited by Odin, and the whole scene is like a cutscene from Goodfellas. It is fantastically
Okay,
good.
okay.
It is so good. They are the mob, but it's
I
brilliant.
like that though. It's quite good because you have to remember the original God of War trilogy. They had Zeus as like this
Hmm.
tyrannical dictator,
Yeah,
and then they're kind of flipping that character arc where he's like, you know, like I imagine if they're going to play out the Norse mythology, I imagine that Odin's like, this is how we run things here, and it's not so much like a in your face level of authority. It's more like, do as I say, or things will happen.
yeah. That's pretty much it. Everything he says has the sort of the edge of a threat, if that makes sense. He's not
Yeah,
threatening you, but he is very much threatening you. It's just the opening scene is just fantastic and it leads into just great gameplay. It's just the
cool.
opening for that game is just a spectacle. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it, but it's on PlayStation Plus from tomorrow. So
Hmm.
download it,
That's
play
perfect.
it. It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't wait to finish that game.
That's it. I mean, I was very much in the mindset to download the trial and play it myself that way, but the problem would be then is I would have been waiting for it to come to PlayStation Plus or become mega
Mhm.
cheap, really. So I feel as if getting that intro, that prologue with the 2 hours that the trial allows for, I'd be then lost going like, well, I have to pick that up again and try it
Yeah,
again. So
yeah.
uh,
I think
I'm excited to get this one downloaded and played now, definitely.
yeah. I want to say the trial is 3 hours for God of War.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it's 3 hours. But it was the first trial I've ever played on PlayStation. To be honest, really good. I'll be definitely making use of that more. But no, I can't wait to play that. I've also been playing Tomb Raider 24 or 2013 Tomb Raider, the reboot. It's awesome. It's just
It's good, like
awesome.
really, really good. I've been playing it. I've been just doing little chapters at a time now. I think I've just got to the radio tower and just done
Ah,
that section there.
what a great section. What a great
Oh,
section.
like it's so good.
it's
Who
absolute.
knows? We might pick that up later in the year. Who
It's
knows?
absolutely breakneck with its narrative. Can I just say that?
Oh, it
I've played
doesn't
that game
stop.
like
Yeah.
3 or 4 times now, and it just doesn't stop. It just goes from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Brilliant! What a game! What a game! Yeah, but
Yeah. There's
we'll pick up that discussion later. Who knows? Sometime later this year. But no, Terminator. Yeah, that's the two games that we play most time. Obviously, been playing Phasmophobia, but I spoke about that enough in Game of the Year talk. What a game! What a game! It is fantastic. But yes, that is what we have been playing, Tomahawk. But it isn't the only games we have been playing, because of course we have been playing our challenge game, which is a blast from the past in more ways than one. Obviously, we're playing 1993 Doom. We're not playing the 2016 reboot. But
yeah.
this is the game that was originally envisioned to be the finale of season one, which of course, when we went to play it, it didn't have online functionality and we had to substitute it out for Quake, which was a great finale, by the way. But I am very, very, very excited to see how Doom 1993 is going to pan out as a finale game. And the only way to do that, Tomahawk, is by going and playing it now. Let's go. And here we are, Tomahawk, at the last challenge of the season. The finale is well and truly here. It has started and it is close to its conclusion. Doom 1993. Okay. I'll tell you my history with Doom 1993. Okay. Doom was massive when I was
Yeah.
when I was a kid. It was huge. Everyone played it, everyone loved it. It was obviously shareware on the PC, which
Hmm.
means it was free. So they would give away shareware versions of Doom on magazines and stuff, which effectively allowed you to play, if memory serves me correct, the first act of Doom for nothing. If you liked the game, then there was a number on the disc, and you rang it, and you could put your order in. And I think it cost, I want to say like I think it was like 5.99, maybe 9.99. But and then they sent you the other two floppy disks for Act Two and Act Three, and then that's how you play Doom. Most people
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
played the shareware version flat out because it had everything in it. It had Act One, it had your LAN facility and all that sort of good stuff. What a game! Most of my time spent in Doom was not on PC though. I first played Doom on PlayStation One. On
Yeah.
PlayStation One. I got Doom for a birthday. My dad bought me Doom. I
No
don't
way.
think he realized what Doom was. I was way
I
too
love
young to
this.
be
Like,
playing Doom.
I love that most of these stories start with Papa Lover
It's
coming
always
in
my dad.
clutch with coming in
Always my
with
dad.
the game purchase.
Always my dad. He bought me Doom for a birthday. I was way too young to play Doom, but what an experience! I absolutely loved Doom on the PlayStation One. I get it's not the best version of the game. It probably is the best console version of this, too, in my opinion. I mean, it's great. It is
Yeah.
great. But I played through the PlayStation version of Doom had Doom 1 and Doom 2 all in there. And you just play through it. What a game. I think it was Final Doom as well. I don't even think it was like vanilla Doom. I
Oh,
think it
right,
was
right,
Final
okay.
Doom. But what a game, man. Yeah. I played Doom flat out on the PlayStation. I would love to say I tried the multiplayer on it, but the multiplayer required two PlayStations on a link cable and two TVs. So I never play I never played multiplayer Doom until about 1997 when we got our 1990, yeah, like 97-ish. We got our
Unbelievable.
Windows 95 computer and played Doom. I think Doom may have been my first network game that I ever played.
Wowie.
It might, it very well might have been, but yeah, Doom. Me and Doom go back a long way. I like Doom. I really
Yeah, I
like Doom. It's
remember
fun.
this. I remember playing it on like the home PC back in the day,
Hmm.
like you said, the floppy disk, and I'm pretty sure we just had Act One and stuff. And I think it was like my dad must have been trying to like gateway himself into kind of PC gaming
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that stage, and then naturally that kind of fed into us. And I just I remember using like the cheat codes, like I think IDKFA was always one that
yeah,
sticks into my head,
yeah.
and that gave you like unlimited health or all the weapons or something. There
I
was a
think it was the
whole
all
rake of
weapons
them.
cheat. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think we just did that. We played the levels over and over again, and just effectively, without realizing we were doing it, we were speed running the first level without
yeah.
really realizing that we're doing it. Ah man, it's just it's great, and it's a funny one because, as you say, it was basically free and gifted, and the coding was like put out for the world. Because I was just looking at this, just really, really randomly. Have you seen like what Doom is capable of being ran on?
Yeah, yes, I know what you're gonna say. Someone random. I saw it today on a PDF. Now, my only issue with this,
Yeah,
can it run Doom? Okay, 99.9% of these can it run Doom. It's literally not running Doom. It's running a video file of Doom. So, like, there was one years ago. It was a pregnancy test.
I did see the pregnancy test. Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
running Doom. It's running a video of Doom, and I think the PDF is the same sort of thing. Yes, it's a meme now. I get it. Doom was designed to run on any PC. That was the whole purpose behind the coding behind it. Was it was designed to run on any PC. And little known fact about Doom: the engine for Doom was originally designed to be a solution to platformers on PC because PCs were incapable of
Okay.
smooth scrolling from left to right. So John Romero and is it John Carmack? Is that what you call the other boy? Sat down and
Yeah,
devised
that's
this
right.
a way of smoothly moving 2D images on PC. And then one of them had the great idea of here, could we do this like 3D? And then Doom was born. Well,
Yeah.
Wolfenstein was born, and then Doom. But Doom's great. I absolutely love Doom. But yeah, most people played it. Sure, were not a lot of people have played it on a pregnancy test. I'm sure.
That's it. I have Game Rant's list of items that Doom has been played on. If you want to hear a couple of them,
Yeah,
just
let's hear it for you. Let's hear it for you. Yeah,
for why not? The Samsung all-in-one washer.
why not?
It washes clothes and plays Doom at the same time. We also have the display unit of the Porsche 911.
Wow.
You can play Doom on a parking kiosk. You can play it on a
Right.
digital camera. You could also play it on your microwave. A Nintendo DS. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure they had a port for
it
that
had
at
a
least
port.
anyway. You can. Someone has played it embedded into Minecraft.
Love it. Love it.
So I like this. It's getting meta and meta as we get further onto this. We've got treadmills. We've got park or a ticket validating machine. Someone's playing it on a vape. That could be just a similar situation of a video file,
I would
just
imagine so. Yeah, yeah. Dot
running a
matrix
loop.
screen. Yeah,
It just is crazy what they're doing. The calculator one is my favorite one, to be
yeah.
fair
It
as
really
well.
is. It's
Playing it
pretty cool.
on the scientific
The
calculator. But
printer thing.
yeah, it's one of those ones. It just is. It nearly supersedes time, this game, and it seems to find a way to stay culturally relevant.
I don't know what it is about Doom. I honestly don't know. It's a super simple game. Enter a level, kill everything, get it keys, and get to the exit. That's it. Every level's exactly the same in Doom, but it is so much fun. I think it's just a mixture of the aesthetics of Doom and the music is fantastic. I don't. I'm preaching to the converted here. Everyone who's listening to this knows Doom's soundtrack is fantastic, but Doom's soundtrack is utterly, utterly, utterly iconic. It is
Yeah,
just thrash and heavy metal, just unreal. Just it is just a really, really, really good gaming experience. It's fun. It's frantic. It's insanely difficult at times. It is hard, but no, what a game.
yeah.
Have you ever played it multiplayer before?
No, no, the podcast was
Yeah.
genuinely the first time I had any multiplayer experience for it, but I did think that my Quake experience of season one would have transcribed.
Yes. Yes.
Not massively.
No, no. I find the same. I find the same. I thought I haven't played Doom Online in about 20, 30 years here. I'll be
Unbelievable.
grand because I played Quake recently and I played Time Splitters recently. They're old games. I'll be grand. Nothing prepared me for the insanity that is Doom. Now, Tomahawk, shall we get to Doom? Or shall we
Uh,
name some games first? Dealer's choice, maybe?
well, we need a winner. We
We
can't end
do.
season four on a tie. It just isn't what we do. So before we go to name that game, I want to ask one question. It's a bit of a tangent away from our typical gaming podcast, so I do apologize. Doom, Dwayne Johnson, yay or nay?
Do you want to know what? It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. Okay. I'm prefacing what I'm going to say with that. It is not a good film. It is absolutely horrendously bad as a film. Do I own 3 copies of it, including the special edition? Yes, I do.
Yes.
I love that movie. It's so good because it's so bad. It is trash.
Mhm.
It's got nothing to do with it's obviously based on Doom 3 because that was the I think it came out the same year as Doom 3. Am I right in saying that?
How was that? It was a tie-in. There was something, but my brain can't quite process for what it was tying in
Yeah,
or
it's
parallel
absolutely
to. But yeah,
I do. For some reason, I have 3 copies of that. I can only presume I bought one. Someone's bought me it as a gift, and I've seen the special edition, which has like it's a weird like
like a steel
book,
book or
like
something
a book.
equivalent, at least.
Yeah. I've seen that cheap and picked it up. I don't know why, but I do have 3 copies of that movie. It's awful. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, dreadful. That was obviously before he was making his movie name based on his wrestling persona.
Being The Rock, yeah, yeah. So he was cast on like his The Rock is Sarge or whatever, and Carl Urban was in this one as well. Like I like it because I think I was at a certain age when it came out. I know it's a terrible movie, but it just is like it just sits a wee lovely place in my heart, and I will watch it and go, "This is garbage," but I can't take my eyes off it.
One thing I will say about it is the first person when Carl Urban wakes up, and I think he gets injected with the serum that turns him into like a super soldier, the Doom Slayer, effectively. That scene where he goes through the ship in first person is pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I
It's
think if they
the
didn't do that, there would be so much backlash. More backlash than the film already got, to be fair. But if they
yeah,
didn't have a first person sequence, that film would have been torn to shreds
yes, but
further.
it leads into the worst final act of a movie I've ever seen. Especially that fight with The Rock. It is wild. If you haven't seen Doom, watch it. It's class. It's
That's
class.
our consumer advice this week, if nothing else.
It gets half a thumbs up. If it was on
just, just,
the
just a
patented,
knuckle.
if it was going to be put on the patented high scores, high stakes tier list, it is most certainly a D. And it's right at the bottom with D, but it's worth a watch because it's really fun. It is really fun. It's like, yeah, but yeah, the less said about it, the better. Let us go to.
Let's go name a game.
Let's go
Let's go.
name that
Let's go
game. Let's
decide
go. Let's
this.
go. Let's go.
Lava, would you like to name a game? Since Cardinal Smith is not here today, you essentially have a free hit to
By
win this.
default. Let's go. I demand victory. I demand closure. I
So
said I'd vanquish
I
him.
thought I would do something a little bit special, but because Cardinal's computer is evidently exploded,
Yeah.
the theme might be a little bit. I will explain the theme as we go, and if we can't get this first one, we'll just move on to the one until we eventually get a game correct. So this first one, I have expanded the search from Amazon to we are now going internet wide
Ooh.
on video games. This is now, I think,
Revolutionary.
the future of Name That Game, by the way.
You're witnessing history here. This is ground zero for name that game futures.
Speaking of, this review got a 0 out of 10.
Ooh.
They pulled a bait and switch. They started with a traditional set of characters, including an attractive chick, but then added woke characters. It's the same attack they do in movies and shows. They take a franchise that we love and use it to surprise us and shove politics down our throat.
Not politics.
Mr. Lova Lova, can you, for the win, name that game?
No. So it's a game that starts off with a cool cast of characters, including a hot chick. Is that what the review said?
Yeah.
So what a review with a good cast of characters, including a hot chick, but then it pulls a bait and switch and gives us woke characters like what unattractive women? Is that woke?
It doesn't specify, it just
All
says
right.
woke
Cool.
characters.
I have no idea. Is it Concord?
It is not Concord.
Eh,
First clue, it was released on the PlayStation 4 in 2020. Name that game.
for 2020.
Hmm
Huh. Okay. So it's not Horizon Zero Dawn.
Which is a good shout,
Um,
actually. When you think about, like, I have a feeling that people on the
um,
internet would shout about Aloy as a woke character somehow.
no, because didn't Horizon Zero Dawn, wasn't that 2017? Because didn't Horizon Zero Dawn come out like the same month as like Breath of the Wild, and
Something like that, yeah.
didn't Forbidden West come out the same month of the Elden Ring? I think. So 2020 PlayStation game, hot chick character, woke characters, unspecified. What makes them woke? 2020. Um, is it? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Um, is it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to
Okay,
pass on that
right.
one. I have no
We
idea.
will. Okay, so the next clue is it sold over 2.5 million copies within a year of its sale, including an expansion which was released July the following year of its initial release. That was a harsh clue, to be fair.
That is extremely harsh. So DLC in the July the following year.
So the 2021 it released the DLC for the game.
500,000 copies. Is this clue two or
Two
is clue
point.
three?
This is clue two. So it released
Okay.
2.5 million copies
So a game that sold
or sold.
moderately well. 2020. I'm trying to think of games that could be considered woke, and I'm really coming up short here. Um, and on PlayStation 4 in 2020, that was the year that PlayStation 5 came out. Am I right in saying that? Would be right.
Yeah, yeah. So it would have
Same
just
year
been
as
at the very tail end, if not a bit of overlap here.
is it Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
It is not Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm going to give you a little bonus clue on this. We did an episode on this game.
Back for Blood?
It is not Back for Blood, and I give you a final clue. Oh,
Episode on.
it is
Nine.
a continuation of games originally released on the Sega Genesis.
And we. Oh, Streets of Rage. Of course. I never would have got there. To be honest, that was a tough one. Hey, what's woke about Streets of Rage?
I honestly don't know, and I'm like, I have that vivid picture of the character select screen, and I'm sitting there going like, I can't
The
think of anything.
the only the only thing and it's not woke. I want to preface what I'm going to say right now is it the soldier the boss fight. She's has the rocket
Yeah,
launcher and the guns. Is it that? Is it because there's a
do you know
female
what?
soldier in it?
It doesn't it doesn't even say. It just adds. They added woke characters, and I imagine they're shaking their fist very angrily
Oh,
as they type
definitely,
this review.
100%.
It's just such a bizarre review. I'm just my mind's blown by that one. To be fair, but I thought it was a zero. It very seldom find a zero review, so I thought throw it in there.
That's incredible. So it is that's the only thing I could think of. Unless isn't the two final bosses what they called Y and Z? Am I right in saying that?
Y and Z, yeah, yeah,
Isn't one of them they're twins? One's a male, one's a female.
yeah,
Am I
yeah.
right?
That's right.
And isn't the female wearing like a suit? They both wear
Possibly,
white
I think
suits.
they wear contrasting suits. One wears a white suit
One
and
wears
black
black.
tie, and the other one black and then white. Yeah, yeah.
Is that woke? A female wearing clothes? I
Let us know
mean,
in the comments what you think is woke in Streets of Rage 4.
you know what? Please in the comments tell us what makes Streets of Rage 4 woke. Who wrote that review?
Oh, I have their name. Kakzan3.
Right, Caxan3, mate. In the comments, what's woke about Streets of Rage? You can't come into a review and say this game's woke and then not explain why. I don't even think he knows what woke means. There's nothing woke in Streets of Rage 4. You're wrong, Zaxan5. Boo
3.
you, sir. Well, him too.
On that note, Mr. Level Lover, congratulations. You have won season four's Name That Game.
And I
How are you
whitewashed
feeling?
I whitewashed Cardinal tonight. How do you like that?
That's what history will tell us.
He purposely blew up his computer so he wouldn't have to face the humiliating, bitter taste of defeat. Well, Cardinal, I'm dishing it now, retrospectively, straight into your earlobes. I have won. Vanquished you once again. Good day, sir.
I'm really gutted he wasn't here because I had a segment for today of episodes that we'd done in previous seasons.
Oh,
That was like,
incredible.
it was just gonna see, it was gonna test your guys' knowledge as well. So I'm a bit disappointed we never got to do that now, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And do you know what time it is for now?
Doomsday.
It's Doomsday. Let's get into Doom and the final challenge of season 4. This is, as they used to say in wrestling, this one's for all the marbles. Let's go. And it all comes down to this. Before you hit play, Tomahawk, I just want to remind everyone where we stand with the league. On in third place, 34 points. You, second place, Cardinal, 35. And me in first, also on 35, but they're by virtue of challenges won. Speaking of challenges, we haven't explained what the challenge is for this one. It is simple, it is brutal, it is fast paced, it is a free for all, and every frag gets you 1 point. There is a frag limit of 25 and there is a time limit of 15. Now, eagle eyed observers and loyal High Scores, High Stakes fans may remember that in Quake, we also had a frag limit of 100 and we had a time limit of 20 minutes. And we hit the time limit long before we hit the frag limit. Will it happen again? Tell us in the comments. But without any further ado, let us hit play on this free for all challenge, 1 point per frag. This could shape the history books of high
It's
scores, high stakes.
the laugh about this one is I forgot how fast Doomslayer kind of moves and how he nearly is ahead of the control input.
Hmm.
And he can also be faster than bullets, which is another thing I found was quite a
Yeah. I think
daunting experience.
you did mention this during the gameplay. I have played a lot of Doom in my time. I do not recall the movement speed of Doom being like this. So I I think what's going on here is the movement speed in Doom must be tied to frame rate. So the higher the frame rate, the higher your movement speed. The movement speed in this game was insanely high,
Yeah,
and it became difficult to maneuver your character around. It took a very long time to sort of become accustomed to it and sort of take into any sort of like things that you would have to do to take advantage of it. I found myself to start running a lot of walls and a lot of corners. The longer the game went on, the less frequent that became. But yeah, it moves super fast. It is crazy. Right now, I think Cardinals in the lead with 4. I'm second with 3, and you're
yeah.
third with 2.
I
Just
did.
as
I
we
found
stand.
myself really hard to get going in this one. I know that you guys maybe got a round of practice in
Yeah.
beforehand, but I don't think that was going to make much difference. But I just couldn't really get out of the blocks, and I think as I say, the control input response, whether or not that is because of this is the new remaster that they put out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 60 FPS that they released for PlayStation Plus.
Yep.
It was crazy for the input. Even by there was a time I had a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher. I was like killing myself because I was getting ahead of my own shots.
You just killed yourself there. Yeah,
And
no,
I did just kill myself there.
I never had that issue. My issue was basically just generally moving around the level. Um, but it is what it is. I did warm up to the game a lot, and I remembered a lot of stuff about Doom, like you can't jump in Doom obviously because it's a 2D game, but you can launch yourself from ledges to make gaps. So I started taking advantage of that. I decided at some point in this game I was going to walk around a circle and just trying to cut corners as quickly as possible to try and get a
Yeah,
jump on
yeah,
you and
yeah.
Cardinal. My plan this game was let you and Cardinal do all the engagement and clean you up. That was my plan from the
I
start. I'm not
mean,
gonna lie.
it was a great tactic to be fair. But to be fair, for the amount of times I spent trying to shoot in a straight line, I'm surprised I got any damage done. Really, and
It
I'm
was
watching it back now, and I thought it wasn't that bad at the start, and I'm like, oh my days, it was actually horrific. I can't shoot, and then the weapon system is really interesting because it seemed to indiscriminately pick up the weapon that you just hover over, and regardless of how good or bad or worse it might be,
yeah, that was really
given your current
annoying.
loadout.
That was really annoying where you could be using the rocket launcher and run over this single barreled shotgun and it would automatically change to this single barrel shotgun. Now on the D pad it allows you to pick 3 or 4 different weapons, one for each cardinal direction. But it's just I don't know how it assigns them because I couldn't pick half the
Yeah,
weapons I picked up because there just wasn't enough buttons in the controller. You had to hold L1, I think it was, to cycle through the. But you can't cycle through a move at the same time because you just there's too much going on all the time. The map here is quite small. There's a lot to it, but it's small, so you're constantly engaging with someone.
oh yeah, no,
um,
absolutely. Even these like staircases, I thought the map was kind of like in this constant figure of eight with like a couple of higher
yeah.
and lower platforms, but no, they're two separate loops to each other with a
Well,
central
it
with
is
this central chamber.
it is a figure of eight, but you can't access the figure of eight from one side, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the side where the rocket launcher spawns, you can run off that edge and land on the middle of the stairs. So it is a figure of eight from only that direction. From only that direction. But no, there's a lot to this game. Shooting on the stairs took me a round or two to figure out. So Doom, you cannot look up and down. You can only so you aim the general direction
Yeah,
of the
as long as
enemies.
you're facing the enemy. Yeah.
So as long as you're facing the enemy, but if you are higher than your enemy, your shots will always go above them. If you're lower than your enemy, you will always hit them. So in this game, the high ground is not the strongest position to have. You want to be lower than them at all times on stairs.
Aye, yeah, that's right, because I did notice there's an awful lot. It just and it auto like nearly auto crits. So and if you get close enough, you're guaranteed just to vaporize a player in
Yep.
one go, regardless of shield, which is one thing I did notice. We all had a big issue with. You could be on 200%, but 200% shield won't stop you from being shot point blank with a
A
double
double
barrel
barrel
shotgun.
shotgun. Yeah. I think the shield protects you from like splash because it doesn't protect you from direct hits at all. At all. I think it's splash damage. But yeah, no, this is constant engagement here between
That's
everyone.
it. There is not one moment. There was like Cardinals had a quick flash of the scores there, but I think there's no time to even look at where everyone's at in
No.
terms of the score line. So we're kind of going into this blind and we're respawning as quick as we can as well.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you're not even getting to see that for a second. So this added just that little bit more
Jeopardy to it. Yeah, yeah. I
threat.
don't even know. I
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
know what the scores are. I think I'm leading on 16.
16.
You're second
I'm
on
on,
11. Cardinals on 10.
yeah, yeah.
That's how we're standing here. I don't know how much time's left because there is no timer anywhere. Just because the way we edit this, you can't see the timer anymore. But it's all chaos all the time. Um, Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to this is we've talked about movement speed, we've talked about controls. The map here is great. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say
that's
it.
it. It's one of those ones that we've fell into other challenges where we've had three of us play with too big a map space, where this is like there's a great flow to it
Mm-hmm.
and you never feel lost for too long. Someone's always going to come careening around a corner or just end up on top of you. So
Yeah,
I had a blast with this map.
yeah, yeah. It's really
It had
good.
so much fun. Yeah.
It's so old school. It's because like modern maps have like 3 different pathways, a central sort of combat arena and like little skirmish areas. This one is all like choke. There is the one big
Oh, they're
central
all choke
area
points.
in the
Yeah,
middle,
yeah, absolutely.
but the rest of the map is one big choke. There's harsh corners. There's stairs with little alcoves in the wall. Um, there's all heap. It's the whole map is designed around forcing players to engage with one another. There is no hiding here at all. But it was a great map. Me and Cardinal played this in 2 player. The map was too big for two, but with 3 players, it was just brilliant,
The
brilliant.
cap is 4 for this, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly, as well. So if
yeah.
you put 4 players bots in this, it's gonna get more and more chaotic. I like we did toy with the idea of putting bots in just as a
Monsters, not bots,
y-
monsters. The AI monsters from the single player game. So you could put in
I think
like
it potentially could have added a little layer of it, but I think
keep it
if
pure.
they're gonna be shooting back, you want to keep this pure for the finale at least anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Try to eliminate any sort of
So just got a quick flash
RNG.
at the score. We
Yep,
are 3 kills, 3 kills in it.
yep, yep.
So it's tight. It is no We're no closer to separating the pack at this point.
No, me and Cardinal just killed each other as well with the double barrel shotguns. We've all sussed that if you want to get close with that thing, because it's a single shot kill, no matter the health, it just absolutely
That's it.
explodes your enemy. That's one thing I want to talk about. When you're being shot with a minigun, or if you take a lot of damage in a short space of time, the screen bleeds red, but it hits a point where it's impossible to see what you're going. And it
Yeah,
just
that's it. I mean, like the game, as we have been sort of watching the gameplay and talking about the history of it, I feel as if the game is so smart for 1993 as well. Like, the damage indicators as well, and just a lot of little nuances, even like the reload animation on
Mhm.
Doomslayer as well. There's so many clever little nuances the game really shouldn't be doing in 1993, let alone on a PDF in 25.
Yeah, see, I don't know if the original Doom did the screen going red thing, because the damage indicator is the little Doom Slayer's face in the bottom of the screen. So I don't know if it
True.
did it. Maybe I'm misremembering. If I'm misremembering, I'm sure the audience will put it into the comments. I don't think original Doom the screen went red. I think that's a additional add-on for this here version of it. I really don't
Okay.
think it did that, because your health's at the bottom, your armor's at the bottom, and then Doomslayer's face was your quick reference guide to your health. And we are getting close to the end here, Tomahawk. Close to
That's
the
right.
end.
I did forget that we had set this limit at 25 kills. So when
Yep.
20 kills happened, I was like, "Uh, who won? Is that it?" And
Yeah.
then the game continued.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was funny because when I hit 20 kills, I was obviously the first one to hit 20. Cardinal was 1 kill ahead of you. So those extra 5 has allowed you to make up not only the gap between you and him, but put distance between you and him as well. You,
Yep.
you really, really, really did make full use of the time, because it was a simple race to 25. So it's over. It's over. The results are on the screen for those watching it. For those unfortunate enough to not be watching it, but they're listening to it because they're at work, whatever it might be, here is the final results of season 4. In third place with 17 kills is Cardinal Smith. In
Oh,
second
Cardinal
place
Smith.
with 20 kills is Tomahawk. Well done, Tomahawk. But in
Yes.
first place with 25 kills, it is me. So the man who was top of the league by virtue of challenge wins yet another challenge. Here we are. This is where we find ourselves. But what does this do for the league? Let's get to. We'll talk about that now. Let's get there now.
Yeah.
Go. So here we are, Tomahawk. We have the final scores. What does that do to the final league table? Well, it does this. In third place, our new solid foundation. We have found
Oh
our
my
new
God.
Mr. John Sherry, and it is Cardinal Smith with
That's history.
52 points. Season
My
4
days.
is the first season in which Mr. John Sherry has not finished last.
I mean, it took a season for him to quit the podcast, but there we are.
But Cardinal Smith, congratulations. You're now our new solid foundation on which this podcast is built. We salute you, Cardinal. In,
Nobody can see the salute because we're on the league table
yeah.
graphic.
In second place on 54 points is you, Tomahawk. Second place, but in
Again.
first place, taking season 4 with 60 points. It's me. I've done it once more. It's all good. It's brilliant, in fact. My second high scores, high stakes cup. I would like to dedicate this to, well, everyone, really, except you, Tom. I'm not dedicating it to you.
Seems fair.
Um, it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful season. Tight until the end, but then obviously the best games player of the not only this season, of every season. I think I have ended every season with the most challenge wins, and I only have one cup to show for it. Well, two now. Two now. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Is there anything you would like to say, Tomahawk, about coming second once more?
I think next season I'm going to put in a 10-second victory speech limit.
Let me have my moment, Tomahawk. I've just
Oh, you
won
had your
season
moment in
4.
season
Beautiful.
2. Let's not kid ourselves. And memory serves. We've got one more set of points to dole out.
Ah, yeah, but
Yeah,
they, yeah, but they.
you
I actually
see.
forgot about that. I didn't actually forget about it. It's all a joke. Just want to see
It's
Tom's
all the
face.
narrative. It's all the narrative.
Of course, I didn't forget about our season-long challenge, which was our like scrapbook challenge. I think we were calling it, wasn't it? Where we had to
Yeah,
create a scrapbook of 10 different screenshots with 10 different categories. If you want to see them, they're all over our social medias. I'll put a supercut here now, so you can view it now if you want. Um, but yeah, the obviously we all made our scrapbooks. We all put them up on social media. We put them up on Twitter and Instagram. Tomahawk.
and I think they went on pretty much anywhere that a video
Anywhere.
would have allowed you to upload. So I think
Yeah,
they're pretty much on every platform we had
yeah.
available.
If you want to watch them, what we will do, rather than put them in here, because people listening to want to hear 3 terrible AI tracks, what we will do is we'll stick them up on our YouTube channel, which I think is a far better use of everyone's time. So if you want to see them, go to our YouTube channel. But yeah, so obviously 10 photos, 1 point per photo is 10 points, which means this league title is not over at all. It has come to the wire. It's coming down to this. And what we thought we would do this season is rather than us decide who wins the season challenge, we will throw it out to the
Public vote.
public vote.
God.
And the public, in fairness, this is the most engagement we have ever seen as a podcast in a poll or a vote like this.
Oh yeah.
Overall, it was like 30 votes or thereabouts. It was quite a lot. Twitter, we got 15 replies. Instagram, we got 10. And on Facebook as well, we got 2. So we did it. So it is 27 votes. It's not bad. It's the most
I
feedback we've
think
ever
that's done
had.
really, really well, to be honest. Yeah.
But here is how the public has voted. In third place, with 3 votes, it was Cardinal Smith.
Oh dear.
In second place, with 8 votes, you chose poorly, folks. It's me. But in first place, with 12 votes, was you, Tomahawk, which means, which
Yeah, baby.
means that the final league table. Oh no! Before we get into that, actually, you technically got 13 votes. Okay,
Right.
13 votes. Now, when I was sharing the Instagram poll, I was trying to figure it out because I'm not good with Instagram, but I actually opened up a tab that allowed you to see who voted and how they voted. And I
Okay.
noticed something odd in the who voted for your video. Now,
Right. Let's hear it then.
would you like to hazard a guess of who voted for Tomahawk in our season long challenge?
No, only because I know the correct answer to this. It was Cardinal Smith,
It was
wasn't it?
Cardinal Smith. What is he doing? What is he doing? Absolute sabotage. We started the season with controversy, we're ending it with
Uh,
controversy. Cardinal, consider this your call out, mate. What are you doing? Answers on a postcard, please. And we'll read it out next week. Actually, hopefully he's back next week. He can explain himself here live. Let's go. But yeah, Cardinal Smith. So I removed his vote from it just
fair.
because
That
we
yes,
did
fair.
say, in fairness, we did say no voting for yourself. We didn't say no voting, which is now the blanket rule. Us three are not allowed to vote.
But
Don't
I
know
think
why he
it
would
was
vote
so
for you.
good. It was quite excellent though because we kept all the screenshots anonymous. I think even in my submission, I had a GT7 screenshot, which I completely forgot had Tomahawk written
Yeah,
across the windscreen.
yeah,
So we made as many efforts as we can to keep it as anonymous. But
yep.
I have a feeling that there's a lot of people who engage with the podcast who do kind of
No,
use a little bit of intuition and they know what games we play. So I think if we were to fine tune this going forward, need to be starting to think a little bit outside the box in the games that we're submitting and the pictures that we use as well. But
yeah.
I loved this challenge. I thought everything about it was brilliant. It actually got us to do a little bit of lateral thinking
Mm-hmm.
with how
Mm-hmm.
these games are played. I did panic when I hit symmetry and I literally went, "Oh, there's a bit in the astral plane in control, and that's symmetry. That'll do, Bing." And it's not the most inventive picture, but
My symmetry
we
was
all. I
was
think.
very
I think
good.
we all absolutely pulled it out of the bag in some photos. To be fair,
Yeah, some of the feedback I got on X was was really good for
Mm.
the thing. A lot of people liked that challenge. They liked the idea of allowing listeners to vote for effectively the winner because this league has been so tight all season. It was always going to come down to this. This was
It's
always
come
going to
down to
be the
public votes
decider.
now. Yeah.
And people like that. So I think it's definitely something we'll do in the future. Maybe not another photo scrapbook thing, but maybe
Read the league table. I want to hear you say it,
maybe
lover.
maybe we'll do something. What I'll say is what maybe we'll do something similar next season as well. We'll QA all this coming up. So the final league table reads like this. In third place on 52 points, still our rock solid foundation. It's Cardinal Smith. In second place with 64 points is Tomahawk. But in first place, after being awarded 5 points for the absolute sheer audacity of you and Cardinal conspiring against me, is me. No, I'm gonna get. In second place, it's me with 60, and in first place, your new high scores, high stakes
Oh,
champion. The first time it's happened only took 4 seasons, but Tomahawk,
that's
you
it.
are the
This
high
is
scores, high stakes, season 4 cup winner.
this is a
How's it
great
feel?
feeling.
And I just like to remind
Uh
you, 10-second limit on these things.
oh, 10 seconds. And now it
As
starts.
per you,
Okay, go.
yes. I mean,
Oh, this is my own rule here. This feels like my story is complete. I'm gonna quit the podcast. No, wait, I'm not quitting. I'm going back to back, baby.
good luck, good luck. But let's talk. I was going to say the history for going back to back is non-existent. No one's ever done it. No one's ever done it. Me and Cardinal over the course of this week have decided to delve into high scores, high stakes past and look at some stats. Look at some stats of what's happened in the past. Okay, here's some
Let's
pertinent
go.
ones for finales. Just finales. Okay. Um, Not only in one season has the person who's entered the finale on top finished on top. It's your boy, Lava. The Resident Evil challenge played a big, massive part in that
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
No, but in season 1, I went into the finale on top, ended up going second. Season 3, you went into the finale on top, came
Yeah.
second, and then this season, I went into the finale on top, came second.
It it's so funny how we've like tried to gauge this and make it as fair as possible, but we've said it the entire season. Going from a 4 to 3 has just condensed everything. So
I
whether
think
or
it's
not
been really fair. I
it's
think it's
been
been
so
really fair.
competitive, but it's been really like we've been so clear cut with how these games are scored and how this is done and how we like gauge everything.
Hmm.
It's been like real top tier. I think everyone has really like elevated their gaming for these challenges.
Yeah.
I think we always had a bit of a, oh, we'll just part about with it for a bit, but this one I think we really all brought it, and I did have to maybe adopt a slightly different approach into my games this
You
year. I
cheated,
have
Tom.
uh,
You cheated several times.
ruthless, a little bit ruthless, I will say.
It's several times. But yeah, no, it's been fun. It has been fun. It's brought drama, it's brought controversy, it's brought stories to this season. But no, it's funny you should say that because this week, me and you especially have been going. Do we need to sort of jig the scoring system? Is the scoring system working? How is it this tight all the time? I don't understand. Maybe we need to sort of rethink. I put up a post on the site as well. If you want to go give us your ideas, it's still on the site. Just talking about changes coming in 2025 to the podcast, and one of them I mentioned was is the scoring system.
Yeah,
So as I said, me and Cardinal were delving into the history, sort of stats wise, of high scores, high stakes. This season was tight because Cardinal won 4 challenges. You won 4 challenges. I won 5. That's why the league's so
mad.
tight.
Yeah,
The reason you and Cardinal both have 4, by the way, because the people who are mathing out there going, that's
hell
13
divers.
challenges. Hell divers. You joined first. But yeah, no, what a season, man. What a season. It's been absolutely fantastic. But we'll reminisce about the season in the wrap up section. So let's get there now. And here we are, Tomahawk. Another episode and another season all wrapped
Wrapped up.
up. It is
What is
done.
this?
We have our new champion. It is you, Tomahawk. For the first time in High Scores, High Stakes history, you will be picking the challenge for season 5, episode 1.
Oh my
So get
god, I
thinking.
completely forgot about
Yeah.
that.
You have one game where no one can veto it because it is entirely up to you. So get thinking about what you want the game to be, and more importantly, what you want the challenge to be. I don't think the champion has ever lost their
No,
champions.
this is much like early days Money in the Bank, where it was 100% success rate now.
Y-
So,
I'm yeah, I don't. We've definitely the champions never lost.
no,
Season 2 was Wipeout. Cardinal won that. He picked it. Season 3 was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I picked it. I
you
won it.
won that.
And then GT7 Cardinal picked it. He won it. So the champion has never lost. No pressure.
I mean, you say that. I have a couple of months to sit on this one now, so
You do. You do. We are moving into
I
our
have
second
to have
phase.
to look at this now. But yes, side quest. Let's talk about what we are going to be doing for the foreseeable future, at least
Yeah.
anyway.
So people may have read. This is it. The season's over, so now we're moving to our off season, what we call our side quests. And what we do is we do 12 weeks of competitive gameplay and 12 weeks of side quests. So that's why it's going to work. Next week's episode is going to be neither of those two things because it's going to be a game of the month episode. And it is the game of the month that we promised for October, but could never sort of fit into the schedule. Next Monday's game of the month is going to be Civilization 6. So it is. Um, for those of you who haven't visited the homepage, go to highscoreshighstakes.com and read that what's happening. Basically, what we're doing is the last Monday of every month in 2025 is going to be game of the month, regardless of if it's in season or side quests. The last Monday of every month will be game of the month. The reason for that is the extra work that went into playing the game, recording the podcast, releasing the podcast was just it was way too much. I think it was way more than we all expect it to be anyway.
Anticipated,
So
absolutely.
there was months where you had 3 game of the months and then 2 or 3 months where there was nothing. So just in order to get you game of the month regularly throughout the year, the last Monday of every month is going to be game of the month, starting from next week, which is game of the month on Civilization 6, just in time for Civilization 7 to drop the week after. So
Exactly, yes.
absolutely coincidental, nothing to do with trying to play trends, absolutely nothing to do with that. Our side quest and our 12 side quests will be where we discuss everything PlayStation, everything gaming. It will be fun. It will be really good. We have a lot of ideas. I don't know what the run order is going to be for the side quest, so I'm not going to spoil anything. We have a lot of ideas. We're trying new stuff. We'll be maybe even talking to guests. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline for 2025 and
Excited.
seasons 4 side quest and then season 5 is going to be our biggest one yet because we have a few ideas for season 5 that need to be QA'd and need to be planned for. Also, coming up in the very, very, very near future is High Scores, High Stakes, episode 100.
Mad.
It's
Mad. Where's that
it's
time
mad.
gone?
We do have some ideas for that. That will be a side quest. And all I'm going to say is keep an eye on social media. So get yourself to highscoreshighstakes.com and make sure you're following us everywhere. And look out for an announcement of what is happening for episode 100. It is going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's gonna
We'll leave it
be
at that.
big.
We'll leave it at that. But yeah, that is what's happening for the rest of this calendar year. There's a lot coming. So make sure you're following the podcast or subscribing if you're watching this on YouTube. You don't want to miss any of it. Season 5 will be back in about 15 weeks. And we'll be going again, trying to get the trophy, trying to get the cup, trying to dethrone Tomahawk, and trying to stop a back to back trophy when that can happen. Hasn't happened so far. But who knows? Maybe season 5 is a year where it happens for the first time. Only time
Who
will tell.
knows? That's it.
So, just before we wrap it up, let's just go through the housekeeping again. Highscoreshighstakes.com. If you want to follow us anywhere on the internet, make sure you do. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, the whole heap. If you haven't told a family member or friend about High Scores, High Stakes, please do that. You're listening to this. Our analytics say 78% of people listening to this are listening on their phone. You've no excuse. Hit the share button, send it through WhatsApp. If you have left a star review, thank you very much. If you haven't, please consider leaving a star review. 1 star to 5 star, whatever you think we're worth. Give us it. If you want to explain why you've given us it, then give us a written review. They're even better. And from everyone in High Scores, High Stakes, season 4 is done. Thank you very much to everyone who has stuck with
Yes,
us this whole
absolutely.
time. Much appreciated. We will be back for season 5. We will be back for side quests. So until Monday, I've been Mr. Lava Lava. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. See you Monday. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
You're the champ, Tom.
Yeah,
Insert
let's
queen
do
gif.
it.
In third place, our new solid foundation. We have found
Oh
our
my
new
god.
Mr. John Sherry, and it is Cardinal Smith with
That's history.
52 points. Season
My
4
days.
is the first season in which Mr. John Sherry has not finished last.
I mean, it took a season for him to quit the podcast, but there we are.
But Cardinal Smith, congratulations. You're now our new solid foundation on which this podcast is built. We salute you, Cardinal.
Nobody can see the salute because we're on the league table
Yeah,
graphic.